Hey, Dougie here. So we decided one of the things that we would do during this time is that apart from the Sunday morning service, we'd also record a few much shorter sessions which we call Dougie's Dailies. The only thing is we can't probably do it daily, but maybe once or twice a week. Just put up a quick thought, 5 minutes, that you could look at it, make it a bit lighter. And one of the things I thought I'd do, because everybody's a bit uptight at the moment and really stressed out, some people are anyway, that I put up a few jokes into these sessions, daddy jokes. And you know what daddy jokes are? They're the sort of jokes that make you go, oh, that's awful at the end of it. So the first one that I was thinking about was, so what do have County Monaghan and a pregnant cow have in common? Correct, they are both near Cavan. Okay, well, we got Ben laughing, our cameraman, so that's okay. Also, I heard that all the nail bars, hairdressers and beauty salons are closing up for a while, so it's going to get pretty ugly out there. Okay, if you think that they were terrible and that you could do a lot better, please email me your jokes at dougie@dec.ie, okay? And we will credit you with them on any ones that we put up. So you have to laugh a bit sometimes too, don't you? Okay, so anyway, the thought in this 5-minuter is greet each other with a holy miss. Greet each other with a holy miss. I'm sure that you've met up with friends or family over the past 2 weeks, and it's been really weird. You're so used to going up and hugging somebody or giving them a kiss or shaking their hand. And it just feels so strange, doesn't it, when you go up and you have to stand 2 meters apart from anybody that you know. I've been meeting people sometimes in the supermarket going up the escalator and coming down the other side, and we're kind of talking to each other across aisles. And it just feels so strange not to get up close with them. I've a French relation who I'm really fond of, and I used to meet him regularly enough at rugby matches. When he'd first come up and meet me, I'd go to give him a hug. And of course, I kept on forgetting that he was French, and I'd always get a surprise when he'd give me a big smacker on the cheek. And of course, then I knew that the one was coming on the other cheek as well. And so that French custom reminded me of this story, I suppose, or this verse, greet each other with a holy kiss. My sons have shown me over the years how to do fist bumps and high fives. The more complicated sequences don't really work for me. I'm too old to be cool. Eskimos are also known as, when they meet up, to rub noses, though definitely that one is out for the moment. So the Apostle Paul wrote to a number of the churches in the New Testament, and he told them to greet each other with a holy kiss. And the Apostle Peter wrote to churches as well, and he said that we should greet each other with a kiss of love. It was the widespread custom in the Middle East at the time for people to greet each other with a kiss as a sign of friendship. It was a way of wishing peace, shalom, which was the common greeting in Israel. And over the years, some churches have insisted that the kiss of peace is not replaced by handshaking or hugs, as they believe that the instruction should be taken literally and not changed. And when I started researching this, I found that some churches still take that very seriously, and they insist that there's a kiss when you go into the church. I heard John Piper in a podcast suggest that he thought that maybe the church should perhaps look at doing this again, and that we should maybe not be too shy about adopting new customs that are somewhat alien to our culture. I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you. There's a famous incident recorded in the 19th century in Dublin where a church insisted on a holy kiss, and the deacons in the church were told to kiss people when they arrived at the door of the church. And one of the deacons, he saw a beautiful young woman come to the church, and he grabbed a hold of her, and he gave her a good old smackaroo on the lips, and he was subsequently knocked out by her husband. Apparently the church at the time decided that the holy kiss maybe should be replaced with a handshake. and it didn't figure too much in the church, in that particular church, in the future. So maybe we have to be careful about what we try and do. Anyway, the whole point of what Peter and Paul were writing about, I believe, was that they wanted to take a common greeting and make it holy. In other words, that we devote even our greetings to God. And the holy kiss may well have become part of the liturgy of the early church. In the 4th century, Augustine of Hippo wrote, after this, and that was communion and the Lord's Prayer, he said, "The peace be with you," is said, and the Christians embrace one another with the holy kiss. This is a sign of peace, as the lips indicate, "Let peace be made in your conscience." That is, when your lips draw near to those of your brother, do not let your heart withdraw from his. So Augustine wrote that in the 4th century. I think the last part of what he said is really important, that our hearts and our lips are in sync with each other. In other words, that our love greeting should be sincere. It should be a sign of what is true in our hearts when we embrace somebody, that we love them. That love is real. We also know that terrible occasion where Judas came and met Jesus, and he actually singled him out by giving him a kiss, which was a totally insincere kiss. In fact, it was a kiss of betrayal. And what the writers in the New Testament are saying to us, your kisses, your embrace of each other should be totally sincere, and the opposite to that. You remember from our series recently enough on 1 John that the apostle wrote again and again about loving each other with sincerity. He said genuine love is portrayed in attitude and actions. It reflects God at work. So the next time you finally do get to greet somebody with a hug, a handshake, a high five, a fist pump, or even a kiss, make it a holy one. Let it be a true expression of love and affection for each other. For the moment, we have to greet each other with holy misses, but we can still have that attitude of love.